Hi guys, my name is Greg VENUTO. Welcome again, and this is Alan Dawson, and Crossing the Barline, really, part 2. Alan Dawson isn't the only one that crossed the barline. It's basically, I did a solo after the last video, which is an inspiration. He was very inspirational to me, so it's called Tribute to Alan Dawson, and it's called 555. And what is and let's just get right to it. What is crossing the barline? It's I hear a lot in the drum community about. You hear about licks, and I heard a new guy recently, like Vinny's seventh flans and all this kind of everything is a lick. You know, I'm not talking about crossing the bar line to cross the bar line. I'm talking about being able to follow people and to play musically without establishing one. And I think we're as a community we talk a little bit too much about licks, and I think it should be a natural and a musical way to play anything you want and kind of know where you are. And you know you get lost sometimes. Sometimes you know nobody's perfect, and there was been plenty of times where I really didn't know where I was, but things came out okay. You know, crossing the bar line and doing a lot of this stuff when you go with another musician, it's magic sometimes. You know, and sometimes it goes better than other times. But the main thing is to know where I am, and what I'm going to tell you now is probably worth thousands of dollars. Because it's a list of things that I really feel you should listen to. That as a listener, you can hear it, and it's to listen to, it's to practice to, and it's to really study. And the first thing I'm going to say is Elvin with John Coltrane in the early '60s, not the later stuff, early '60s, '60, '61, maybe Live at the Village Vanguard. Anything with Roy Haynes. Now He Sings, Now He Sobs. I think he did that in 1968 with Chick Corea. Roy Haynes, unbelievable crossing of the bar line with Chick and just playing great drums. Rock-wise, Ginger Baker with Cream, of course. Tony Williams with Miles Davis. Especially the later years, in the middle to late '60s. Terry Bozzio with Frank Zappa, and very important, Joe's Garage with Vinny with Frank Zappa. And I realize that a lot of this language on the albums, Joe's Garage, may be offensive. So my Bible was shut up and play a guitar. And don't download these things. Buy these things. Buy these CDs and really study them. And the Shut Up and Play a Guitar series, for if you're interested in rock playing, you know, because it's a loud electric stuff, was unbelievably really made my toes curl up a little bit the first time I heard it, and I really practiced that stuff hard, and I learned a lot from that Shut Up and Play a Guitar series. And Steve Gadd, Friends, the album Friends, Leprechaun, and 3 quartets. Unbelievable stuff that he did with Chick Corea, crossing the bar line. So that being said, that's a college course right there, that list. And what you could do in the meantime, I assume that some of you guys aren't beginners, or you are beginners. If you come to my site, you're interested in playing some things that I think most guys aren't doing and or can't do. And the first thing I would do is just play eighth notes. I'm sorry, 16th notes. 3 Indiana, 4 Indiana, 1 Indiana, 2 Indiana, 3 Indiana. And watch what I do. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's play eighth notes now. 1, 2, 3, 4. get into not establishing where one is, whatever you're doing. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. So by not establishing one, in counting, this stuff starts making sense. And when I listen to people like Steve Gadd play with Chick Corea, soloing wise, and they're hitting something really out, you find out what it is mathematically, and copy it. Maybe something's on the end of 1 and 4, and they keep on hitting it repeatedly. And it becomes a language. You learn that. You go, oh, okay, I know what that is, and it's not as mysterious anymore. And you can figure it out. Another thing is like just doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That sounds pretty out. That could sound pretty out when you go from drum to drum, and especially odd times, so this stuff is not as hard as it's not as hard as it sounds. It makes musical sense when you know where one is, and one of the best things I ever heard. I also want to mention Steve Gadd with a group called EYEWITNESS. 1980, 1981, maybe to 83. There was one thing that he did, I'll never forget it. They were like, it was like right here, and they were vamping for him. 3, 4. He did something like that repeatedly, and then he went into a higher snare drum, but it was in 4, and that was almost like when you hear. Another good thing is to listen to timbale players with Latin bands. So it was almost that kind of a lick that Steve played, and he did that over and over again, and it's so simple, but it could sound so unique, and get away from the lick thing that most drummers play. We're responsible for ourselves, and the more musical we play, and we don't have to sound like just guys beating things, and or just playing fast, whatever. So I'll see you next time, and that's a beginning anyway of Crossing the Barline. There's a lot of stuff there to work on, and I'll see you next time. All right.